What you feel controls what you think controls what you do. And if you want to change any behavior, it'll start by changing the belief. When we get stuck in a negative rut, in a kind of what I call a negative loop, it can be so hard to pull ourselves out of it. So I'm sharing 5 ways for you to overcome negative thoughts and negative feelings. And you see, we always get the opportunity to change twice. We get to change our thinking, and then we get to change our behavior. And many people try to change on a conscious level. They might go, you know, I'm really scared of cats, but I'm going to get over that fear. I really love chocolate and cakes. I'm going to stop eating them. It doesn't really work because your beliefs are subconscious. Here's something I tell people a lot. Your thoughts control your actions control your feelings control your events, but you can change that to beliefs. What you believe controls what you feel controls what you think controls what you do. And if you want to change any behavior, it'll start by changing the belief. People say to me, you know, you couldn't possibly enjoy coffee without cream and sugar. I couldn't start my day without a breakfast muffin. I couldn't enjoy my life without alcohol. How could you go through life without cake? And you see, these are beliefs. And if you believe that chocolate makes everything better, or a drink really relaxes you, or that you would die if somebody rejected you, then that's a belief, and trying to change the behavior doesn't work. So I've had many clients who believe they're scared of cats or mice or dogs or birds, and they've done a kind of cognitive behavioral therapy where they look at photographs of a bird or a cat and more photos until they get better, but it doesn't work. And this is what one of my clients said, you know, I had a fear of flying. It was so bad, my husband threatened to leave me if I didn't get over it because I wouldn't go on holiday with him or our children. I just couldn't get on a plane. And one day I went off and I did this thing where you go and sit on a plane and you go to the airport and they talk you through, this is what happens in a plane, look at all the controls. And she said, you know, I walked down, the flight took off and I was taken down to meet the captain. And when I got in the cockpit, I actually lost control of my bowels wearing shorts. Then I had to walk back to my seat, and the plane landed, only a 20-minute flight. And I'm even worse now. I cannot go on a flight. So she already had a belief, I'm terrified of flying. She tried to consciously overcome that by looking at how a plane works, and it made it worse. But when I talked to her, she remembered her father used to put her on his shoulders and spin her round and round and round. He was 6'4". She was a tiny baby. She hated it. And the first time she flew and hit turbulence, her mind thought, oh, I don't like this, it reminds me of. And she felt helpless and hopeless like a child, because our mind always goes back to what something means. And when she could understand, I go, oh wow, of course, my dad always did that. He used to hold me really high up and throw me in the air and catch me, and I hated it. He thought it was hilarious. I've also got a fear of heights, and now I know why. Now it's a game changer. So understand that if you have any behavior you want to change, it's not really useful to change it consciously. I'm going to really resist cakes. I'm going to not have cakes in my house. I'm going to have no sugar. I'm going to fight to not eat hot chocolate and marshmallows. But my grandmother, the only person who loved me, used to make me hot chocolate and marshmallows, and I felt so loved. And every time I drink the hot chocolate, I'm regressing back to that feeling of being loved. We have taste receptors here, and they remember milky, sugary, creamy stuff, because after all, the only food that's fat and sugar is breast milk. And so eating sugary, fatty food is an act of regression. So don't change the action. Go and have a look at the thought that keeps it going. Don't work to change consciously. Look at the subconscious and you'll be forever changed. I have clients who leave my office going, that's it. I'll never smoke again. I'll never drink again. I'll never abuse my body with food again. I'll never settle for less. I won't put up with a diminishing relationship again, because you showed me that while one part of me thinks I want a really nice relationship, my subconscious belief is no one's going to love me. My mum didn't love me, therefore I'm not lovable. And if you change that on a subconscious level, everything changes. That's what I do for my clients every day. And you can do that same thing too. Well, the thing that stops us is always fear. You see, we're not very motivated now. Some of us are, most of us are not. A lot of us need structure, and we need the structure. If I get up, I go to work, I come home. On the way home, I go to the gym, then I make some phone calls, and then I see my friends. And now I've got all this time and nothing's happening. There's a proverb I love, and it says, if you want something done, give it to a very busy person. And I noticed myself in the first 2 days of being at home, I kind of wandered around, didn't really know what to do with myself. I read and I kept falling asleep. And then I got myself together and realized that we all need structure. We like structure. We like a timetable. After all, normally you wake up and your day has a structure. I get up, I make breakfast, I juice, I go to work, I do this, I do that, I have lunch, I come home, I pick up the dry cleaning, I go to the gym, I pick up the kids, and we have a structure. And what you must do now to have discipline is to give yourself a structure, even write a timetable. You need to get out of bed. The worst thing you can do is lie in bed, put on the TV, stay in there, look through Facebook, play on your computer. Suddenly hours have gone by and you've done nothing. And doing nothing is actually incredibly tiring because you're not motivated or focused. So create a timetable and stick to it. I will get up at X. And the first thing I'm going to do is meditate or work out. You might go, I can't work out. I've got a tiny apartment. Yes, you can. Just doing the plank, doing crunches, doing sit-ups and doing push-ups will work. You need a space the size of a bath towel. Doing some deep breathing, using big bottles of water or even cans as weights will help you. You must exercise. First of all, it makes you feel good. It gets your lymph going. Your immune system is your lymphatic system. Your lymph doesn't have a pump. If you exercise, you boost your immunity. If you boost your immunity, you are less susceptible to any virus, and it gives you something very good to do. Skipping for 5 minutes a day is great for boosting your lymph. Trampolining, if you have a little rebounder, press up, sit up, skipping. These are enough. You can do press-ups against a wall, but do something. And when you've done those two things, I've meditated, I've exercised. And by the way, here's a way to get great discipline. Have a friend and say every morning at 10, we exercise together on Zoom, on FaceTime, on Skype. There are many, many generous people giving away yoga classes, exercise classes, Pilates classes. Sign up with a friend, because when you commit to doing something with another person, your chance of sticking it goes up by a massive 80%. If you think, I keep planning to do those workouts and I miss them, do it with a friend. Go for a walk, go for a cycle ride. At the very least, do this online and do it with a friend so that you can't let them down and they can't let you down. Now you've got two things out of your way: meditating, exercising. And now give yourself a timetable. If you're not doing your job from home and you're not homeschooling, give yourself a timetable. What am I going to learn today? You see, Harvard and Yale and so many colleges are giving away free online programs. Libraries are streaming books. YouTube is the best university in the world. Decide I will learn something new and watch something new every day. And then have a lunch and make a better lunch. And then decide who you're going to talk to. I'm going to Skype an old person who's alone, talk to a friend, talk to my family. And in the afternoon, Well, I'm going to do some work. Maybe I'm going to do housework, cleaning out drawers, emptying cupboards, giving stuff away. Maybe I'm going to do more learning. And in the evening, that's my time to reward myself. I'm going to watch a movie, read a book. You see, human beings react very well to reward. And we all know as parents who say to our kids, do your homework, then you can go out to play, clean your room, and then you can have an ice cream, eat your lunch, and then you can have a little bit of dessert as a reward. We function much better with a reward. With goals, we have purpose and direction. Without goals, we kind of flounder around. If you can go, yeah, I'm floundering, I'm definitely floundering. I'm going from the couch to the bedroom, half watching TV, I'm on the computer all the time, I'm not doing anything with my life, and I go to bed feeling I've wasted my time. You need to have goals. Goals give you purpose, direction, clarity, and focus. So write out a timetable. Remember, when your kids go to school, they have a timetable. When you go to work, you have a mental timetable. Give yourself a timetable. What are you doing today? And then give yourself a reward. When I have done these things, meditated, exercised, learned something new, done something new, connected to someone else, then I take a reward. I reward myself with my favorite movie. You see, if you don't take it as a reward and you just watch the movie the minute you get up, you feel bad all day because you feel like, I didn't earn this. When I was writing my first book, the way I motivated myself was say every day if I write 3 chapters, then I get to watch my favorite show. I get to make something yummy to eat. I'd even say to myself, my first coffee of the day or my first tea, I have that as I'm working on a chapter or a spell check, because we need to have the reward. If you have the reward without the action, you always feel kind of guilty. You can't enjoy that time because your mind's going into, I coulda, woulda, I should be doing something else. When you've done the something else, like, oh, I deserve this. We all know we go to the gym and come home, we feel so good. I did a workout, I did something. So you can give yourself structure and discipline and motivation with a timetable, with something exciting to do, and with a reward. There's a great proverb that says to be happy, you need someone to love, somewhere to go, and something to do. There's someone to love right now, maybe you. Working out is a way of loving yourself. Meditating is a way of loving yourself. Giving yourself structure. Eating better foods is a way of loving yourself. The second part of that is something to do. And there is so much to do. We're so lucky we live in a world of Wi-Fi where we can learn so many things, read great books, study great content, talk to other people. Somewhere to go? I can hear you saying, but where am I going? I'm in the house. Go inside. We all want time for ourselves. And the other way to give yourself structure and discipline and focus is don't use these words. I'm in lockdown. I'm in quarantine. I'm stuck in the house. I feel like I'm in prison. I'm cooped up. None of us are actually in quarantine. You are not locked in at all. You're allowed to go out for a walk, to the store. You may feel cooped up, but you're not cooped up. You're not a little chicken in a coop. Your freedom is still there. You're free to eat what you want, do what you want, wear what you want. When you use these words, I'm trapped, I'm cooped up, I'm stuck, my freedom's been taken away, I feel like this is an apocalypse. I feel like I'm in a war zone. The way you feel is linked to the words you use. You notice I'm saying all the time, I'm at home, I'm indoors. I don't say I'm in lockdown, because I'm not locked down. I don't say I'm in prison in my house, because I'm not. I don't say I'm going crazy with the stress. I'm at home. I'm indoors. I'm lucky to have a home, to be indoors. I have food, I have heating, I have love, I have people to connect with, and you do too. And you might think, no, I don't. But you do. There's always someone that you can connect to. There's always something you can do, somewhere you can go, and someone you can love. And there's another proverb I love that says, to have real balance, you need to have a relationship that's good, a career that's good, and something just for you. And many people say, I've got a relationship and I got a career, but I haven't got anything just for me. What could you have just for you, an interest? It could be yoga, it could be breathing, it could be keeping bees, it could be potting plants, growing orchids. It doesn't matter what it is. It's what I call the triangle, a relationship that's good. And if you don't have a relationship yet, as you build a relationship with yourself, focus on all the great things about you, be more ready to grow a relationship with another person when this passes, and it will pass. Work on your career while you're at home. What could you learn? Could you learn communication skills, marketing, search engine optimization? Could you learn IT skills? Could you learn another language? Could you read some more books? So you can work on your relationship, work on your career, and work on the thing that is just for you. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not important. You could work on learning to eat better food. You could batch cook. You could study. So you need structure, discipline, and focus. And fear makes you run away from all of that and just meander around. When you have goals, you'll feel better. And please don't live in fear. You're probably immensely safe. You're at home, you're safe, you have an immune system. You live in a country where they will take care of you. Yes, we have to be very careful with distance and washing our hands. We're all in this together. One day you'll look back and think, gosh, you know what? I really could have used that time better. You know, I had a client, a very rich woman, who went to jail for VAT fraud, tax fraud. And she was what you call one of the ladies who lunch. She was very wealthy and her life was really about going out to lunch, and she lived in a beautiful gated home. And when she went to jail, that was a shock to her system, but she trained to be a yoga instructor, a Pilates teacher, an aerobic instructor. When she got out, she went back to that prison every month and gave free yoga classes to the other prisoners. She said, you know, I lived in a gilded cage all on my own with staff, and actually I loved those women in jail. We became great friends. There are people who have been to jail, Martha Stewart, Jeffrey Archer, Jonathan Aitken, if you know who they are. And they've used that time well. They learned something new. They did something, and they will all say, you know, it wasn't the end of the world. Something good came of it. And one day you look back and think, wow, I had 8 weeks off. I didn't even do anything. I ate potato chips and binge watched Netflix and felt terrible. Don't be that girl, that boy, that man, that woman. Use your time well. And if you're at home with children and partners, help them too. Say, let's work out together. Let's cook together. Let's study something together. Also be aware that if they don't want to, that's fine. You study your stuff. Help other people too. And if you're alone and your friends are alone, say, let's study this course together. It's like being in a book club. And let's communicate every day about what we learned, what we're doing. You have no idea how brilliant your potential is. You know why? Because your potential expands as you move towards it, and it expands again, and then it expands again. And when your mind moves to a new potential, it never, ever, ever goes back again. The fastest way to change negative thoughts and feelings is to change the words that run those negative thoughts and feelings. Imagine saying, I'm depressed, or I'm exhausted. Change that to, well, I'm a little stressed and I'm certainly a little tired, but tomorrow I'm bouncing back. I'm out of control. I'm just a big fat pig and I'm eating like a train wreck. That's not even true. Change the words. I've decided to take action about what I eat, how I look, how I feel. I can't find love. There's no love. That's not true. You are surrounded by people that could have a loving relationship with you. How about saying, I magnetically attract love into my life. I'm warm, I'm loving, I'm lovable, I'm out in the world, and wherever I am, I could be in the store, but I'm attracting the love of my life to me. See, when you use powerful words, they send a powerful instruction to your mind. I can't do it, I can do it. I'm unlovable, I'm super lovable. I'm not enough, I'm so enough. Look at your negative words, flip them over, and always say the positive. The words you speak are a blueprint that your mind and body work to make real. I ate too much, now I'm going to be fat. I ate a lot, I got a great metabolic rate, it will just burn that off. I didn't wash my hands and I'm probably going to get sick now. I have a fantastic immune system. It knows how to fight bugs and germs. You have so much power to feel good if you just decide to use better words. Listen to yourself. Ask your friends, hey, what do I say all the time? Well, you say it's a disaster. It's a nightmare. This is killing me. I'm so stressed. We don't even notice the words we're saying until we listen to us and go, oh my God, I can't believe I speak to myself like that. Somebody said to me, you know, I heard you speak and it was so amazing. I've had painful feet my whole life. You know what I say every day? I just can't stand it. I can't stand it when my kids don't put the lids on jars. I can't stand it when my husband doesn't put his laundry in the laundry box. I can't stand it when people are late. And I stopped saying that. I have never had painful feet since. Because that was her blueprint. Every time she said she couldn't stand it, she couldn't stand it. Every time you say it's making me sick, I'm going to get sick, it's killing me, it's driving me crazy, it's making me insane, I can't stand it, I can't take it, it's too much, I'm so depressed, I'm so down. Stop it. Flip that over. It's a challenge. It's a situation. I am tired. My kids are a challenge. But they don't stay like that for very long. And anyway, if you have phenomenal coping skills, you'll rise up to meet every challenge. They'll still leave the lids off jars. Your husband will still leave his pants on the floor. But you know what? It won't bother you. Don't try to change them. Change your words. I promise you, it will change your life. The second way to get out of a rut is to really understand your primitive brain, your ancestral brain. We have modern bodies, but we have primitive thinking. And our primitive thinking is if you can't fight and you can't flee, then you should just freeze. And years ago, we'd see a lion and we'd get into a complete panic. We'd either stand completely still or we'd run. And today we look at our inbox and go, oh no, look at all this stuff. And we can't fight it. And we can't flee, and we freeze again. We can't run away from a boss, a difficult client, a child who's going through an issue. So we freeze and say things like, oh, I can't cope with this, it's the end of the world. When you can't fight and you can't flee, you can flow by saying, this too will pass. Right now, I'm ill. And by the way, never say I'm sick. You're not sick. You have a minor illness. I'm ill. It will pass. I'm tired today. It will pass. I've had an argument with someone I love, but it will pass. Everything will get back on track. So remember, you are wired, hardwired, super wired to freeze when you can't fight and you can't flee. But that's from being on the prairie and being around dangerous animals, knowing if I stand completely still and do nothing like a rabbit in the headlights, I'm safer. But you're not supposed to freeze when you look at your inbox, when you look at your to-do list, when you look at your house, your chores, your kids. You're supposed to flow through it, to do it a bit at a time, to chunk things down, to say, hey, I can cope with all of this. I don't need to run away. I don't need to run. I can stay here and power through this because I have phenomenal coping skills. So understand your wiring. Understanding your wiring makes life so much easier. Another way to get out of a rut is to practice gratitude. Gratitude is the highest frequency that you can resonate at. And whatever is going on in your life, your partner is annoying you, your children are a challenge, your job is a challenge, your situation is a challenge. I want you to imagine what it would feel like to know that someone in the world looks at your life and says, that is my fantasy dream come true. I would swap places. When you have a kid that keeps you up all night, I'd give anything for that. You've got a husband or a wife that's messy or late or forgets your birthday. I would love that. You have to do a long commute, change trains, sit on the freeway. I would love to have a car and a job. So your problem when you see it as someone else's fantasy dream come true, when you think, what would you have given 10 years ago to have a home? Yes, things go wrong. You're a homeowner. You've always got your hand in your pocket, but you own a home. Yes, you have a child that worries you, but you have a child. You have love in your life. What would you have given 10 years ago, 20 years ago for this problem? I had a time when I was working on American television and English television simultaneously. I commuted every 2 weeks, go to LA, come back. My case was always packed. People say, oh my God, that's so awful. I'm like, awful? Awful? It's amazing. I have got a job on 2 television shows, one in America, one in England. I never saw it as awful. I saw it as a gift, an opportunity, a great experience. Plus, I knew it wouldn't last forever. You see, when something is permanent, it will get you. I got to commute to LA every 2 weeks. That would have been a challenge, but it wasn't permanent. I knew it would have an ending. It wasn't all the time in my life, and whatever is stressing you, if it has an ending, when your child grows up, when your boss stops being difficult, when you get out of the situation you're in, then it has an ending and it won't bother you anymore. The fourth way is to change the pictures in your head. If you wake up full of doom and gloom, I know I'm going to be late, I know it's going to be a disaster, I know they won't have the thing in the store I'm going to get, I know I won't be able to get parked, I know it won't work out. Why would you go anywhere knowing it won't work? Change the pictures. They'll have exactly what I want in exactly my size. This is going to work out perfectly. Everything is working out perfectly. Make better pictures. If you go to the gym, for instance, and make a picture of your body loving working out. If your picture is, well, you know, life's so hard and life's so difficult, change that picture. I wake up in the morning and every day is a great day. There is always something to make my day great. If you have somewhere to live, something to do, someone to love, and enough to eat, you're already in a very, very fortunate place. So make better pictures. Be grateful for where you are. And finally, be kind to yourself. One of the major causes of depression is not a chemical imbalance in your brain at all. It is harsh, hurtful, critical words that you say to you on a daily basis. Please don't do that. Stop that now. If I could prove to you that your harsh, hurtful words cause you to be depressed and anxious and get in a rut, then surely you would stop them. If you spoke to a friend the way you spoke to yourself, oh, look at the state of me, I'm such a mess, I'm such an idiot, I'm such a loser, it all goes wrong, everything I touch I mess up, I just can't get this right, I'm deadwood, I've got rocks for brains, I'm so stupid, I'm an idiot. If you spoke to your friend the way you speak to yourself, they would be long gone. Be a friend to yourself. Practice kindness. Be nice. Yeah, I messed something up today, but it's okay. Tomorrow, I will do better. I learned something. I learned not to rush, to leave myself more time to practice, to be prepared. Today I ate complete garbage because I was busy and I was at work, and tomorrow I know to take with me a can of tuna fish, a bag of nuts, a juice, a shake, even a powder shake that I can make up in my office, because I learned something today. When I don't have the right food, I just eat candy bars. Tomorrow I'll do better. So be kind, be nice. Today I was so stressed because I didn't have enough time and I was in a panic and I was rushing. Everything was going wrong. Tomorrow I'll get up earlier. I'll prepare. You can only learn by your mistakes, so use these 5 tips, these 5 techniques. Be kind to yourself. Practice gratitude. Put new pictures in your mind. Use new words, and remember, when you can't fight and you can't flee, you can flow. You will always have another day to do better, feel better. Life is amazing. Life is a gift. It's a wonderful world. Sing yourself a better song.
Everybody wants to be happy, and we're all looking to be happy. And we seem to have this weird belief that there's some destination we're going to get to one day called happiness, but there's no destination called happiness. There's no terminal you're ever going to arrive at in your life called this is the happy place. If you want to be happy, and why wouldn't you want to be happy? Here's the way to be happy. You got to be happy right now. I see so many people who go, I'll be happy when my kid can walk, when my kid can feed them. So I'll be happy when my kid's gone to school. I'll be happy when. And if you buy into that, I'll be happy when, you're never happy, because when never comes. I'll be happy when I'm married, I'm single, and if I could find a great person, I'll be happy. And then you know what you do? You just swap all the problems of being single to having to compromise with somebody else, because you have this belief, I'll be happy when. So if you want to be happy, here's how to be happy. Decide to be happy right now. Don't do that. I'll be happy when I get to my holiday. I'm super stressed at the airport. I'm having a manic moment. But when I get there, I'll be happy. Because now you've told your mind that happiness is somewhere you're going to. Tell your mind the truth. I am happy right now. I've decided to be happy in the moment. I'm choosing to be happy. You see, your mind is set up to do what you tell it. And every time you say to your mind, I'll be happy when, it believes that happiness is out there and you're going there, but you might never get there. When you go, I'm happy right now. I'm happy packing. I'm happy at the stress of the airport. I'm happy this minute. I am choosing to be happy. Then your mind understands the truth. Happiness is now. You're not going to happiness. You're not looking for happiness. And by the way, nobody else can make you happy, while an amazing partner, a great career, a wonderful kid will enhance your happiness. If you give that to someone else, my partner's going to make me happy. Having a baby is going to make me happy. Having a great job where I get recognized is going to make me happy. Getting praise is going to make me happy. Do you know what you're doing? You're giving someone else the responsibility to make you happy. And if you say to them, here you go, you make me happy, that will work for a while, but then, you know what you're giving them? You're giving them power to make you unhappy. I want a little baby to be happy, and I got it, but now that baby is a 14-year-old teenager that doesn't want to speak to me. People say, oh, you know, you make me feel amazing, and then the other side of that is you make me feel so angry and so lonely and so unimportant. Don't give your power to be happy to anyone else. It's up to you. And don't wait to be happy. Choose to be happy right now, in the moment. I mean, look at little children. The rain makes them happy. A puddle makes them happy. Everything makes them happy because they live in the moment. Happiness is an inside job. Go inside you, live in the moment. I promise you, if you make a decision, I'm going to be happy right now, no matter what, in everything I do, you'll train your mind to be happy. And here's another great thing that I find really works to be happy. When you wake up in the morning, start going, wow, this tea is amazing. This coffee is sensational. I love the smell of the shower gel. I love the sheets. I love waking up. I had to make myself do this, and it completely changed my life. I wake up and go, I love my life. I love being here. My first coffee, go, I love this coffee. I love my sheets. I love everything. And that's not really true, but if you can make your mind be happy with little wins, every time you eat something, it's sensational. Make a phone call, go, this is great, I'm reading, I'm watching my favorite show, this is amazing. When you sit down at the end of the day to watch Netflix, go, this is amazing, this is wonderful. You're training your mind to celebrate tiny little things. And when you get big things, every day feels like Christmas. So if you want to be happy, live in the moment. Keep telling yourself the tiniest little thing makes you happy, because that's what children do. And do not ever give your responsibility to be happy to someone else. I'll be happy when? I'll be happy when I'm rich, when I look good, when I'm thinner, when I'm married. Because I work with people who are rich, thin, married, and millionaires. You know what? They're miserable. I remember going to somebody's wedding, a very dear friend of mine, and she was so stressed about making this wedding perfect that she forgot to enjoy it. I know my daughter's first birthday was a great event, and I forgot to take a single picture because I was so busy making sure she was happy and everyone else was happy. The next day I had to restage this party just to take the photos. Happiness is being in the moment, living in the moment. And sometimes I go to events and I watch people and they're so busy filming it that they're not in it. They're no longer in the moment. They're no longer enjoying a coffee or a lunch or a concert because they're filming it instead of being in it. And there's nothing wrong with filming it, but when you finished your filming, put the camera down, be in the moment. The moment is all you ever have. Live in the moment. So let me summarize for you. You're not going anywhere to be happy. Happiness is not out there. It's here right now, this moment, and you can choose to be happy. And I promise you, this sentence will change your whole life if you say it every day. I'm choosing to be happy, choosing to live in the moment. I'm choosing to always find happiness. I'm not looking for it, but I'm finding it because it's all around me. So remember, there is no destination called happiness. Happiness is an inside job. Choose to be happy. Never give your power to be happy to someone else. Because if you give them the power to make you happy, you know what you're giving them? Of course, the power to later make you unhappy. Live in the moment. Celebrate every small win. Teach your mind to be happy. And then your mind will start to feed it back to you without you even noticing, and you'll start to notice that you are happy all the time. Go ahead and make some comments below about the things that already make you happy, so other people think, oh yeah, I could do that. I never thought I could just do that, and then I would be happy. And remember, if you talk to a kid, what makes you happy? They go, the rain, the wind. When I was in Africa, I asked somebody what made them happy. They said the sun, the dark, the light, the cold, the beach, the sea. Because they naturally do that. They live in the moment. Live in the moment. Choose to be happy. Remember that sentence you're going to say. Every day I'm choosing to be happy. I'm choosing to be happy right now. If you enjoyed that video, check out the next one right here. You can also click the link below right here for your free gift. We've kind of forgotten how to hold ourselves. So I'm going to show you how to have the body language of someone who appears to be incredibly confident.